Hey you! Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode of the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show. I'm your host, SlowpokeFelitos, bringing you guys episode 19 of season 3. Mind you, we're almost done with this season. And with all these conversations, I've been losing my voice every now and then because of the fact of, especially with our special guest here, the brutally honest, the wonderful Peach Blossom 99. She had me working my fields. I think probably this is why my voice cracking here and there, because of the fact that this is an episode that's very heavy on mental health. And just her comeback story of what the ordeal she had to deal with, even through these slowly but surely rapid fire questions, just honest in what she says and all the mistakes, all the hurdles and stuff. I'm learning from these it was just wonderful to listen and to visualize from where she's come from in this standpoint of her life, and then jumping back into streaming because it's pretty heavy. So fair warning, and for those that are heavy listeners with headphones and stuff like that, please, there are a lot of times where I myself have gone overboard with the microphone. I'm just shocked in the answers that Peach Blossom's given us, but in a good way though. So without giving any more spoilers, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. It keeps the lights on here in the house of Slowpoke. So once again, guys, we have the wonderful Peach Blossom here for an episode 19 of the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show. Let's go, baby!
Peach Blossom 99, or just Peach. I have to just keep it short and sweet because you have blossomed your way here onto the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show. Peach, thank you so much for being here.
We're 10 seconds in and there's one pun.
Yes! I know at the time of this recording, you're having to deal with trying to balance everything. I really do appreciate your time taking, being here on the show, only because you're in the middle of finals week over at your school studies and stuff. And so how the heck did you set yourself up, trying to do a podcast and then balance yourself with finals and stuff like that? How the hell did you manage all this?
I skipped theater class today. And
What? Peach, no!
Listen.
I'm listening.
I skipped theater class today, and then I used all that time to study instead and work. So now I have nothing but free time.
Okay. Well, I feel honored and somewhat disappointed, but hey, you know what? It's totally fine.
I have 102 in theater right now. I'm not worried.
102? What?
102.
Peach Blossom. Peach, are you a bookworm? Are you really going hard and ham on your studies?
I'm pretty smart. I'm not a dunce. I don't know. I'm good at studying.
Well, for those that don't know, and I would love to elaborate more, I would want to, first for starters, introduce you to, here in the House of Slowpokes on the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show, who you are and where do you currently stream?
I am awesome. And my favorite thing to mention is that it's not just a very cutesy aesthetic name I picked. I very much love peaches. They are my favorite everything. It is a very cute name, and I have that kind of theme going on of peaches and flowers and cuteness and stuff.
Sure.
I definitely have that as a theme, but I really fucking love peaches. I wasn't just sitting around strawberry, nah, that's basic. I genuinely, so peaches are my favorite thing in the world. The color, the flavor, the fruit, the flavoring.
Okay. The peach rings. I love peach rings. Oh my goodness. I drool for those, man. You find me at a 7-Eleven, best believe I'm walking out with a 2. Yes, those peaches.
Yes.
Those peach rings.
There's peach drinks. Oh, I think it's the best. But anyways.
Sure, yeah.
Other than that, I guess I'm known for doing study streams where I study in front of my beautiful little fish tank. Oh, there's the fatty right there. That's our thick boy.
Oh, big boy, big thick boy.
So I guess I'm known for doing the study streams.
Right.
And then Kpop. I think I'm definitely known. I do play a lot of Switch games. I do love to do that, especially with Animal Crossing. But I think I'm definitely known for the study streams and the Kpop pod stream.
Nice. And it's funny that you mentioned about the whole study stream in the beginning here because it is quite fascinating to hear, along with also the Kpop streams. But more importantly, first and foremost, I want to touch bases because I have never seen anybody ever on stream take the time to study I don't know, like, where the heck does that concept come from? Or, like, how did you even start it? And then, like, I guess I want to more elaborated in a sense, because, like, it's very almost like a genius tactic, because you get a double whammy to hang out with your friends, and then, like, at the same token, you're getting your studies on, and then, of course, you, like, getting 102 on you know, on your classes. So how do you pull this off, man? Where did it start?
I'm trying to think of where to start, because, like, I
Sure.
do have, like, a story of, like, how we came up with the idea.
Sure.
But I guess first and foremost, it has really helped me a lot. I'm good at studying, and I do enjoy, like, learning,
Mm-hmm.
but I do have a lot of depression,
Oh.
ADHD,
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. So it's hard for me to, like, focus on something.
Uh-huh.
I first thought of the idea because I wanted to come back to streaming. I did really miss it,
Mm-hmm.
but everything I did first didn't make me feel happy and didn't make me enjoy streaming.
Mm-hmm.
But then also my thought was, I have so much to do. I am busy with school. Graduating college is super important to me.
Right.
I love content creation. Like,
Right.
if I had the money, I'd move to LA and try to be an actor. No joke. I do love content creation, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have really good ideas all the time that I think I would like to, like, do
Mm-hmm.
and get out there. But I came up with the study streams because I was like, the biggest thing I need to do is I need to do well on college. I need to keep my grades up, etc.
Right.
But I miss streaming so much. So I was like, so what's the solution? And I was watching YouTube videos. So when I study, I always need to have, like, something happening in the background, music, a YouTube video, a show.
Right.
Usually I pick, like, the same show, like that 70s show or something.
Good shows, right? Nice.
Playing. So, that 70s show is my favorite. That and then Golden Girls.
Golden Girls, you can't go wrong with that. No, that's classic.
I love them. Thank you for being
No, for
afraid. But another thing that I like to watch is there's this video from this woman. Her name is Zhu Zhanghu. She's a Chinese content YouTuber creator. She's been on for a long time.
Okay.
And it's all nature videos, and it's her just, like, cooking and tending to the farm that she lives with her grandma. And she's out, like, in the countryside of China, and she, like, hand makes everything. She makes handmade silk, like, from silkworms and stuff like that. Like, I love her videos. And she has, like, very light music and then all the sounds.
Right.
Of, like, what she's doing. So, but she doesn't speak, you know? But I love having her videos. I'm just playing, and I love, like, seeing how something is made or whatever. And then I was looking through the recommended, and it's stuff like somebody washing their face at night, and somebody, like, just eating a meal and stuff. It's like, what's wrong? And, like, very daily life activities.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually saw another, like, study streamer, like, watch me study, but, like, I watched their video, and that's what they were just doing, except it was even quiet. No music, nothing. It was just studying. But these videos had me, myself, because I watch a lot of these types of videos.
Sure.
And millions of views and millions of comments and stuff. So, like, people enjoy the content, obviously, and they had lots of subscribers and stuff. And so I was like, I can't explain why. Some people can, but I do like watching, like, daily life videos, I guess.
Like IRL streams kind of thing?
Yeah. And so I was like, so obviously there's, like, a audience for this thing, and I can just kind of do two things at once. But then for me, I'm all about aesthetic. I love aesthetic stuff. And I was like, well, I have this fish tank. I was like, I want something in the background, because for me, just watching somebody study in complete silence would be boring, in my opinion.
To the majority of people, yes.
So I was like, okay, well, I have this fish tank. That'd be cool to, like, look at. And then I have, like, a channel redeemed to, like, change the fish tank color so that I can also be directly involved
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing I didn't see is that in these daily videos,
Mm-hmm.
the audience is watching. There's a lot of audience to watch and participate, but like they're not involved directly with the stream
Oh, I
or the
see.
studying.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't get to like participate in any way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That engagement is
that's
gone. Is gone. That engagement is
yeah.
gone.
So that's another thing that I wanted to focus on too was having the engagement because not only does it help me not get burnt out while studying,
Right.
I also it lets them also like do it. And I also Lavender is always really good when she pops up in my streams. She talks about how she's working with me. So I try to like have a time limit
Mm-hmm.
where like I study for 25 minutes and while I'm studying, everybody is welcome to like chat with amongst each other,
Mm-hmm.
listen to the music. I always have music going on, change the fish tank color,
Right.
all of that stuff. Like they get to entertain themselves on top of just like vibing out with me, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also encourage them to study with me or work while I'm studying. And then when the timer goes off, we'll all come together and we'll all chat, you know?
Mm.
So I put a timer on. I study one subject for that length of time, and then I set the timer and I talk.
Mm-hmm.
I get caught up on chat. I respond to the chats I missed while I was gone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just stuff like that. So I try to have a really good mix of like engagement directly with the audience as well as for myself because it really does help. I'm not getting so burnt out. I'm not just quitting the studying.
Yeah.
And I get to take like a nice break where I'm not taking a break like scrolling on my phone and stuff. But taking a break and engaging with like
Right, like procrastinating
people.
and stuff like that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm actually doing something. So I don't know. I really, really enjoy people watching. And the other day,
Mm-hmm.
somebody was in my chat and they were like, I've never seen a stream like this, and I didn't think I would enjoy it, but like you have like the best vibes here. He's like,
Whoa. Is some random person?
No, he was a follower of mine.
Okay.
He's from Italy. He lives in Italy.
Okay.
And he was so kind about it. He was like, I didn't think I would like this kind of stream.
Wow.
You have the best vibes. Just having it like up,
Yeah.
playing in the background is like so nice. And I thought that was the sweetest thing.
Yeah.
That made me feel so nice. Because that's what I want in a place. Like a good place for everybody to come. Some guys just chill out and enjoy it. And some people have told me how they just literally have me like blown up on the screen just to watch the fish in the back.
Oh no! Well, that big old fish tank behind you is something very gravitating and like
He's doing all the work.
He's doing.
I gotta pay him. He's like.
That's pretty attractive. A fish tank you got there, and I gotta go back to that where it's just like very. I don't want to say revolutionary, but it's just like I've never seen that done before, and so it's very enlightening that you have somebody that like a follower of yours that was willing to chime in and be like, hey, you know what, like this is different, but a good different in a sense because a lot of people don't really get a chance to put themselves out there in a different aspect because it literally a lot of times it is just like turning on the camera and like playing games and whatnot, but you're doing it very differently with your studies. Before you actually even do it, we started with these study streams. You were actually streaming some games, I believe, back then, but then all of a sudden it just stopped. Was it because of the school, or was it just mentally you had no idea what you wanted to put yourself out for, like your niche?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I was getting stressed about school, but I hadn't even started school yet. I was just getting ready to.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped streaming last time because even though I was having fun and I really enjoyed streaming,
mm-hmm.
I think I was in a very different place mentality wise.
Okay.
And I don't think I was even ready to like start doing that.
Oh, was it a lot that you took in very quickly, or you just weren't really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a lot that I took on really quickly, and then I don't think I knew what to do with it. I had ideas and I had plans, but I kind of started and I was like, let me learn along the way instead of let me try to get any kind of basics and then go into it. I just didn't have any idea of what was going on. The first couple of times, and I know this happens, but I think for me, it was just like, I just didn't know. First couple of times I got like some mean comments. I don't think I knew how to like handle it. Yeah.
What do you mean by mean comments?
There'd just be like random people that sometimes come into the stream and like then would be weird and then would say something really mean if you didn't like give that back. I don't know.
Sure.
So I don't think I was like ready for that. Even though I kind of knew that it was a possibility, but it's still, I don't know.
No, but when it actually happens, it really like you take a step back and you're just like, is this really happening? And especially like when it's live, you just don't know what to do. And as a streamer, it really takes a toll where, you know, you're essentially on your toes and trying to figure out what to do. Or like if you have a moderator, take care of it. But if not, then what do you do? Yeah,
exactly. And, you know, usually when you're very first starting out, you like maybe one mod and it's like your best friend and sometimes you don't have any. So.
Yeah. And then that particular time when it actually happened, did you have anybody that helped you out, or how did you come up like to get you out of that situation?
I do what I usually do when, like in life, I was bullied a lot, so I'm pretty good at like holding my ground and like snapping back a little bit.
Oh, snap.
At that time, Lavender was my only mod because, you know, she was helping me out with everything then, and she's the reason I got started in the first place.
Yeah.
But she like couldn't watch all the time, you know, like I'm in the US, she's in Japan.
Oh,
our
absolutely.
Friendship is hard to maintain as is, and like every single stream is almost.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the Lavender Cube, I kind of want to touch base on that because not a whole lot of people actually know this. You guys were actually friends in real life, and we actually had the wonderful Lavender Cube over on season 2 of the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show, and she was by far like one of the, if not the, of like the top 3 or 5 episodes that people really enjoy, only because they kind of wish they want more of her, and she really went in depth about the whole basically the outside of perspectives of streaming, whether it was like, you know, her like anxiety and self-sabotage and whatnot, but more into that later, where I want to just touch bases on first on like you guys actually being really, really good friends. Matter of fact, like best friends in real life.
Yeah. So we have actually known each other since 5th grade. So elementary school.
Right.
But we were friends kind of in like 7th and 8th grade. That's when we started to like have kind of the same friends. So then we started kind of being friends. But then in high school, we were very, very close. We were besties. And then we both kind of had a period of, I think, 2 years where we didn't talk maybe except once in a very blue moon, because we were, she had just started college. I was also like just about to start college the first time. You know, we were in that stage of life, just starting in high school, starting to get out. I think we didn't really talk for a long time, but then she literally hit me up, and it's so cute how it happened. I think in the 7th grade, I used to sew a lot.
Okay.
I made a lot of my friends one year, like a hand crocheted phone case.
What? That's cool.
Phone or pencil case.
Sure.
And she was packing up or moving or something like that. She was going through her things, and she found it. She was like, I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but did you make this for me? And from literally that text message on, we have been inseparable ever since again.
Inseparable,
and
wow.
I think we've been even closer than when we were in high school. We were pretty close, and we keep up all the time and try to talk about very close to every day. But
right. That is very great, like to have that like bond ever since so many years after high school and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, you know, as life goes on, people grow apart, or like, you know, things change in people's perspectives in life. Lavender Cube had to move over to Japan.
Yep.
How did that relationship like affect you in mentally, where like you're kind of losing a best friend? Not well, like not entirely losing them, but like in a retrospect of like they won't be there physically for you here.
Yeah. Of course I'm gonna miss her and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but we had always been kind of like when I we both grew up in Tennessee,
Mm-hmm.
but when we graduated, I was in Ohio for a time, so we were already kind of separate,
Ohio,
and
okay.
she was still in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but even when she went to Japan, I knew I was gonna miss her,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted her to be safe. I was, worried about like her
Yeah.
doing a big move because she had never lived abroad before,
Uh-huh.
and so I was just, I was worried for her because that's scary. It's amazing, but it's scary.
Very much.
So, uh, so I was worried for her and I missed her, but we have always had this thing about us that connected us, I think, even in high school,
Mm-hmm.
that we both love travel. And it's always been like our biggest dreams to travel and be in different places all over the world.
Right.
So I think more than anything, even though I was like, oh, I miss her, I was never like, I don't want her to leave, you know?
Yeah, I
I
understand.
wanted her to go anywhere in the world. Like I wanted her to go to Japan, and now she's in Korea, which was like literally our dream in high school. We were talking
Aw.
about going to Korea together
Yeah.
and like getting an apartment together or teaching over there together, stuff like that. Like we
Aw.
literally had dreams to be there
Yeah.
together. So when she got to be there, I was so happy for her. I know
Mm-hmm.
that was like such a big goal on her list, I
Sure,
guess.
sure.
So yeah, even though she moved, I was worried and I'd miss her, but I was so happy because she's going and doing a little bit of that dream, Like obviously she has some stipulations where she has to do her work and stuff like that. But she
Right.
still gets to travel.
Right, and then even though you guys are far apart, you guys still manage to actually make things work. Like when you implement the streaming life, there is some way of connecting with each other. Where like, hey, you know what? I
Mm-hmm.
know what is it, Japan or Korea over there in that part of the world. It's a time difference between where you're at now
Yeah.
and over there. But you guys still manage to pull together what I think is very unique too as well, that like it's a double whammy. Look, you do your study stream sessions, and then now you're over here doing K-pop streams where
Yeah.
both you and Lavender Cube to chime in, because you both are advocates for like or enthusiasts, if I may will, on K-pop.
Yeah.
Like, where did the fascination with the K-pop stream come about between the both of you, or maybe one introduced the other, and then all of a sudden now you guys are doing like co-streaming on the drama behind the K-pop stream. So please do tell us more about that.
Yeah, that is my favorite thing. And that is the thing too, is like when I came back, the first thing everybody asked was like, when are you gonna do K-pop pod? When are you gonna talk about K-pop again? And even people who are like, I don't fucking listen to K-pop. I don't listen to any of that. But when are you gonna do the podcast?
I was one of them.
That started in high school, like literally our sophomore year. I got into K-pop, and I literally remember in biology class, we
Hmm.
had biology class together, and we sat together,
Sure.
and I was like, I had my iPod Touch, and I was like, there is this band that I listen to, but they sing in Korean. But I think you'd really like them because we've always talked about music. We were both in band together.
Sure, sure.
I showed her, a music video, and ever since then, I was getting way more into K-pop, and so she would ask me. She was like, "Do you have any other songs that you're listening to?" And I was like, "Yeah." And here is a group, and
Uh-huh.
they do this, and they dance like this.
Yeah.
They're trained to do these and these things, and they're so talented. Da, 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 da.
Sure.
And literally from there, like it was just that was all that I would listen to
Just hooked
in
right off the
high
bat.
school. I was so hooked. I love music. I love art and I love dancing. So when I first saw the crazy, incredible choreography and oh, music videos and fashion and K-pop. I was like, oh, this is it. This is my niche.
Right, right, right.
This is everything I like in one place. I
Uh-huh.
love being efficient.
Sure, yeah.
That's all, let's go. So yeah, and ever since then, I love K-pop, and I'm also, and Lavender admits this too. I'm
Huh.
definitely like the bigger forefront of it. Like I'm more into the news. I'm way more into the groups. It's been like I know every single thing about this.
Yeah.
I have sources on da da da.
Yeah, and you needed to find an outlet to put that out there, and that's where the whole I want to say the whole collab session came about with you guys doing K-pop streams where you guys talk about what was it, the news or something like that, or what was it that you guys talked about?
We kind of talk about everything, and that started because I was like, I'd always wanted to do a podcast, and I always knew it was going to be about K-pop. That's always been a thing I've wanted to have and look forward to, even before I wanted to stream.
Sure.
I always had the K-pop podcast. And I know Lavender, we talk very well. We go off of each other super well. We enjoy like conversing with each other about these things. I think this would be perfect if we did this together. Yeah. And if we can't, then I've done it myself a few times, but I really prefer and I enjoy it more when she's there with me talking to me and we're talking together.
Right.
We talk about everything. Usually, like the usual setup. Sometimes there's like different things here and there if we like go off on different topics or she has questions because I'm the more knowledgeable one, and Lavender likes to like know more. So she sometimes will stop me and ask me certain questions. Like, she's like, "Oh, I didn't know this group did this. When did that happen?"
But that's almost like a great counterbalancing because you have the host and you have the co-host, and of course when you have those implemented questions, because that might be what the audience is actually looking for. Where like maybe they don't know the informative parts of like what's happening with this K-pop band or with the song or what's it about and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's a genuine like flow between the two of you, especially like the background already sets its stone. Where like you guys are best friends or whatnot, and then now it's like the knowledge of you guys bouncing back and forth. Do you feel like that kind of grew organically over time, or like it kind of took a little bit of sessions for you guys to finally get the flow going with your guys' stream K-pop streams?
Because we are so close and because we both think so well together,
right?
We've never had a hitch. Like we were able to just dive in the very first time, and it was like the best. That's still one of my favorite streams I've ever done.
Oh.
And we literally just hit it off. But I like how you brought up about having the good dynamic. Lavender is also really amazing at, even if she knows, she's able to ask the questions that she assumes everybody else will probably want to know. So
That's
people who aren't familiar with K-pop, Lavender like knows what they're probably going to ask, or sometimes she has the same questions. So she is so great about, because I'm the one who knows more about the K-pop, so I'm just like just talking and going off on it. But she's really great at able to be like, oh well, explain this to me, or for those who may not know, can you explain what this is? And I love that she does that. I think that our streams work so well because of that. Because funny enough, most of the people who watch my K-pop streams are people who don't know anything about K-pop.
That'd be me again.
Like, I feel called out.
No,
like, no, genuinely, like most of our audience, they love these streams, but they don't know anything about K-pop. So for Lavender to be able, and I think that's why so many people who don't know about K-pop enjoy it. And I think Zero actually said this once, was that I'm not confused about anything.
Yeah, and it's really great that you put that out there where I don't want to necessarily say like it's dumbing it down for the audience, but it's just like for me, for example, I have no idea whatsoever anything about K-pop. Like I barely like with Lavender when we chimed like we had a little bit of subject talking about like BTS and stuff like that. Like that's kind of like the only thing the only thing that I know. But to be able to bounce back and forth of like the knowledge of both of you guys to know and almost like read the audience, because again, you're going into the mindset of like thinking that, you know what, these people may not know what this is at all, so let's educate them. And it's okay to educate people, like to be able to have them understand the dynamics of what it is to actually become a K-pop sensation, and like the songs, the story that goes behind it, because there's not a whole lot. Well, nowadays it's more of an exposure. Now we have them come on over here to the States and doing tours and whatnot. I mean, at the time of this recording, they just had a Vegas. I guess BTS, they had like a Vegas tour or whatnot there. So they are a mainstream. They are actually it is getting a lot of traction and stuff. So with both of your dynamics of putting themselves out there for the K-pop streams, now you have it where you have this established and stuff. So now, where do you think you see the whole K-pop streams and the studying streams go from here? Like, do you kind of want to progress them with this, or do you want to? My question really, as if I want to put this in perspective, where does gaming come into play? Like, has that ever started before before you started taking the break, or like are you kind of having to just take a back seat for now and just running with what you have right now?
I definitely was mostly gaming the first time I was streaming. I was playing Sword Art Online a lot. That was my biggest thing. And then just a bunch of other RPG games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love gaming. I do enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
but right now, at least, I feel like gaming is like the third place right now for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Because the studying and the K-pop is like what's working and what I'm enjoying the most right now. And I think sometimes doing the gaming streams, I don't know, I feel really self-conscious about my gaming skills to like stream it all of the time. And I just want to be able to do it when I want to. So I will enjoy it instead of being stressed while I'm doing it. Because then I feel like that comes through, and then the stream loses the quality.
Yeah, you can almost sense that vibe that if someone were to come in, and it's just like you kind of tell like they're not really feeling it, and then like you're just like you're gonna leave. Is that kind of like what happened in the beginning when you first started streaming, before you took the hiatus break, with the gaming portions, like the mental state of like that added pressure, and then like the criticism you might get of like maybe you suck at this game, or like you don't feel like you're good enough for playing this online?
Yeah. That had a lot to do with it, of like where I was like, I'm not really good, and I've got comments about it, like so, and gaming has always been a comfort to me. It's something I've always been doing like forever, and it's always something I love to do in my free time.
Right.
But I remember feeling when I was right before I took the hiatus, I was starting to feel really kind of sad, because I remember the last stream I did before I went on hiatus, I was playing Sword Art, and that's like one of my favorite games.
Sure.
But I remember I was not enjoying the game that night at all, and I never not enjoyed it.
Was it from the beginning of the stream, or like somewhere in the middle, something probably cut you off, or?
I think right before that, I was feeling kind of stressed and like kind of like strung out.
Sure.
And also my mental health was like not in the best place. I have mental health issues as is, but then I was really having a lot of problems, and there was I hadn't even gone on my medication yet. I finally had medication for my mental issues, and I never ever had medication before, and I definitely needed it, and I was coming out of a really bad place on top. So I think being in a really bad mental health crisis place, finally being able to calm down from a very, very tumultuous time in my life, and then finally having free time to game, because I hadn't had free time to game in a long time. Getting said that I suck at gaming and stuff like that, put a lot of pressure on it. So, me just enjoying it would be enough. And I also wanted advice, but I didn't want to be,
Yeah.
But, and then it was like, then I was only streaming because I knew that people wanted to see me that did like me. You know what I mean?
So you almost felt like obligated that, you know what, like, this is the only time my friends can see me, so I might as well do it, and like,
exactly,
almost put up with it.
And that to me is when I was like, I either need to quit or I need to take a step back, because that is not fair to them, because that's not fair to my audience or the followers that follow me, to my community that I want to build, and to my friends. It's not fair for me to make them feel like a burden or make them feel like I have to do something. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Even if I don't outwardly say anything like that, I know that that feeling and those vibes come through. You can just tell, because I've seen it with my own people that I'm fans of, movie stars, whatever. Like, when you, the fans, start feeling guilty for taking away a creator's time, the vibes are just off. And that's when I knew, I was like, I have to step away. Because if I'm going to create content, which is something I've always wanted to do, and if I'm going to do something that I enjoy, if I myself am not in a good space or don't give a good open place, I don't know if that makes sense what I'm trying to like.
No,
convey.
it does make perfectly sense, because you kind of you want to find that outing, but you just don't know what it is, and you're kind of stuck in this limbo of like, you know what, like you said it perfectly. Either something needs to be done where you take a step back, or you're just gonna start hating it, and it's almost gonna feel like a chore. So when you finally decided to make that executive decision to pull back and be gone, how long were you gone? And then during that time of you being gone, did you seek the help that you needed for your mental health, or was that kind of still spiraling out of control as well?
Yeah, a little bit of both. When I finally took the hiatus, and so I've just recently been back with, I think maybe it's been 2 months, question mark?
Sure.
But I have been gone for, it was a year, maybe a few weeks, a year and a month. Like, it had been a year since and not only, this is the thing too, and I kind of regret this, but I just can't help the place that I was at the time. I can't change that. But not only did I like stop streaming, right? I stopped everything. I didn't leave Discords, but I was not watching almost anybody stream. I'd watch Lavender's every once in a while.
Sure.
I'd peek in. I peeked in a lot, but I stopped chatting. And I don't know if you know, but I'm a very active chatter when I'm watching somebody else's streams.
I agree. I highly agree. I highly agree. Yes, that's why it's shocking right now. You mentioning that how hard it is to like not to chat, and it's a shocking thing, because you are an avid chatter, and my heart's just sank for you right now thinking about that, like just what you're going through with that aspect. But take us through that ropes of like how hard it was for you to like, almost not being able to chat. Like that had to mess you up pretty badly mentally.
I was watching my closest friends, I was watching them all the time, but I was not chatting. I'd say some things for a while, especially at the beginning of my hiatus. And I've always been very open on Instagram. Like, I made a super long post. I made a super long speech, I guess, at the end of my last stream. Like,
sure.
I've always been very open. Like, this is what I'm going through. I am not streaming for a long time. I didn't have a plan. It wasn't like, let me take off for 6 months or let me take off for a year. Like,
sure.
I had no idea. I was like, this is what I'm going through. I can't do this. I'm going to have to do this at another time. And so I've always been open about that. But things kind of got worse for me in my life right before I was getting actual help for my depression.
Yeah.
Things were getting kind of really bad for me. So I think it was like a few weeks where I didn't watch, talk, or see anybody on Twitch or any of my friends and family in the community. Like I did not.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't interact at all for like a good 3 weeks solid. And then, and this is like because of me.
Sure.
When I would try to like talk again or chat with people or hop on the streams again, watching other people's streams, I felt bad, and I felt like because I was gone for so long that they were like, I don't know, I felt like some people may have just like moved on, you know, and been like,
right. And then
instead of being like one-on-one, hey best friend, it was more like, oh hey Peach, like how are you, you know what I mean? Like I felt like I went down the level, and that's on me. I think that's a lot of my anxiety, but also it's my own fault. But I just, for a while, things were going really, really bad for me.
And I can only imagine too, like when you're kind of, I don't want to say, well, if you want to put it in retrospect, like almost demoted, like, okay, well, you're here, that's good to see you. But at the same token, did it kind of feel like a little envious, maybe a little jealousy, like, you know what, like I want this, but like you kind of realize that you kind of put yourself in that position where like you've been gone for so long, and so like it's all these emotions and factors they come into play, and you can't really have a decision making where like you kind of want this, but then you kind of have to understand because of X, Y, and Z, this is why you're not having it. Yeah.
And of course, like I'm a person, jealousy is a perfectly normal human emotion. And I definitely felt it at first. And
of course.
I'm not anymore. You know, I don't get to do that anymore. I haven't been doing it anymore. So that's my own fault. That comes with, you know, phasing out for a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was definitely sad for a really long time. And I was already sad.
yeah. But then how then now take us a little bit more like moving forward, like where you seek the help that you got. I'm not quite sure if you kind of have this already, but you kind of have it where it got to the point where like now, what was it that was the peaking point of like, you know what, I'm going to have to come back. I want to come back. I love this. I miss this. And I miss my friends. I miss communicating. How did the wheel turn where now you're seeing yourself, hey, you know what? I'm actually going to be coming back. Where did that come about?
I think for me, I did finally, the biggest thing was I actually did finally take that first step and get on my mental health a little better. So that was like, I think that if I hadn't done that, I would not be here streaming again. I have no idea how much longer I probably would have kept on, if ever. You know, like
sure, my
mental health been the like doorstop in my life for the longest time, and it was causing me to put off things that I loved, and then I would feel guilty. Like I felt very, very guilty all the time. There was a time where like every single day that I didn't stream, I'd count it in my head and I would feel guilty.
Oh man.
Even though I was open and honest that I'm going to have a break, I need this break for this, I literally was counting, like keeping track in my head all the time and feeling so bad for it. But that was not helpful, you know?
No, not at all.
That's going to make you feel so much worse.
Right.
So I finally went to a doctor and spoke with them like, hey, I'm feeling like this and this and this, and I've been through this in my life. I've had a very, very difficult life. So that doesn't help either. And the doctor was like, these are some things you probably should look into. And when I finally started getting help and working through like bit by bit, and I'm still working on things. Like I need to go to therapy and stuff like that. I'm doing the best that I can, but like mental health is a journey. It is not a flight. You can't go from one flight to the other. It's not an airport. It is very much a long cross-country road trip.
Greatly said, yes.
You have to stop and get gas. You got to get snacks.
I love it. That's a great metaphor right there.
It's very much a journey.
Uh-huh.
So I'm still going through that, but I am eons better now. And so first I started like working through like the worst part of things, like working on my past, working through that, and like still am, but trying to get over that hump. And now I'm like, okay, where am I? What do I want to do with my life?
Uh-huh.
And it was when I was like, what do I want to do with my life? When I started seriously thinking about streaming again, because I was finally at that point where it's like, I do feel better. So would this be better for me? And could I do this? And something in me was like, not yet, not right now, but soon.
Sure.
And for me, I also knew that if I came back, this is another reason why I started the study stream. If I came back, I had to do something different than what I was doing before, because I am not going to get re-triggered or take the chance of getting back into the same cycle and then being where I was again. I have streamed more now, I think, almost than when I had started at first.
Oh, wow.
And I'm streaming way more frequently, way longer. My streams are getting really long.
How long are we talking about, Peach? How long are we talking about?
Like 3-4 hours. I did a 5-hour stream almost. I think it was 4 hours and 45 minutes of study stream.
Of studying?
And I was talking like a lot too. Like that was a super fun stream.
Wow.
But I had literally just burned out, and when I saw like the runtime, I was like, "There's no way." I thought it's been like 2 hours. I just kept people here for 5 hours. Who the hell wants to listen to me that long?
Welcome to the Just Chatting community there, Peach Blossom. It is something gravitating where, I don't know, you have to have almost that niche of being able to keep people's attention span, because nowadays we have social media where like, hey, you can be watching somebody streaming, but like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna be on TikTok on my phone, or I'm gonna be on Instagram liking DMs or whatnot, or sliding in people's DMs, or like just doing whatever it is you have to do. But at the same token, with what you're pulling off here is something very, very unique that I do highly advise people to check out, because not to say that you're a good friend of mine, or like you're a really dear friend of Lavender Cubes. You know, the thing that I drive all the time for people to realize is that everyone has a story to tell. The fact that you were able to share with us your mental health, my heart sank for you. I'm thinking, I'm like, you know, wanting to cry here, because
don't cry.
No, I'm not trying not to. It's because mental health is really powerful thing that people still to this day, I have no idea why on streaming people still think that it's a stigma, or like, I'm sorry, too taboo to even bring about, because I
think that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It needs to be talked about, because it is so much more common than you think. And you should never ever, life is so hard as is. Like, life is good, but life is hard. And there is no reason why anybody needs to suffer with something that you can get help for. That's the one thing, is like, there's so many things. We live in an age where like so many things happen, and so many bad things can happen. Like, there is illnesses, there's sicknesses. Mental health is stuff that we are working on, and we have this for help for. Like, it's not an incurable thing. You do not have to suffer, and you don't deserve to suffer. I don't care what you've told yourself. I don't care what somebody else has told you. You are a human, and no human deserves to suffer on the inside. Like, there's no reason where you should have to be forced to handle that when you can get the help for it.
And now, some slowly but surely rapid fire questions. Are you ready for the slowly but surely rapid fire questions for season 3 of the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show?
No.
What in the?
Yes.
Hey, let's go. What are some video games that have made you cry?
The first Sonic.
Huh?
Don't ask. And then the very first Mario and Sonic Olympic Games.
What?
I'm not kidding.
They don't even have stories. Do they have stories?
The very first Sonic made me cry because it was the very first video game I was ever allowed to play by myself, and I didn't have to share it.
Hey. Oh, so it was Happy Tears.
Yeah, so that was Happy Tears.
Sure.
Animal Crossing made me cry because Animal Crossing made me cry because I felt so accomplished that I did something, like made my own thing and like built my own island and stuff.
Sure.
So I felt like actually productive. And then the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games made me cry because
That's so random.
because I really love the Winter Olympics. And it was the Winter Olympics version of, and I got to ice skate, and at that time I was really big into ice skating. So I was like, I'm gonna be a professional ice skater because of Sonic and Mario.
What is to you your biggest pet peeve?
I do not like being like talked to as if I am not intelligent.
Oh, like they dumb things down for you.
Yeah. But like make it a point to do so. Not like because they're trying to be kind or nice and explain things.
Mm-hmm.
When they talk in a tone that sounds like, I know that you don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
I hear you.
That gets me heated.
For your schooling, what is your essentials in your backpack?
Not my books, but my laptop and my AirPods because I'm not walking around. Okay. I live in East Tennessee. Okay. I don't know what knowledge of geography everybody has.
Sure.
But it's mountainous as heck. And it's just like this.
It's a
all
wave.
The freaking time. I literally cannot walk around my campus without hiking all the time.
Oh
like
my gosh.
my walking around my huge campus is a hike. Every class day is a hike for me.
Oh my gosh.
And even where I have to park, I'm
Yeah.
not kidding. It's like this. This is the hill that I have to walk up to get to my car every day. Like
What?
just like this. It's almost straight up. And so my AirPods is one of my essentials because I'm not walking around this campus without listening to Eye of the Tiger to get me up this damn hill to biology.
Right.
I gotta listen to the Rocky theme song. It's like climbing up those stairs every single time I'm going. And then the campus is so hilly, and then all the buildings have huge stairs into them. They're like, we want to look archaic, and I'm like, and like we want to look archaic and Roman and so cool, and all the look at our cool buildings. And I'm like, get an elevator.
What is your favorite song to renditions? Because for those that don't know, you have a lovely voice, and if you don't mind as well, I don't mean to put you on the spot. If there is a rendition song or a snippet that you care to us to sing, or that you can kind of like, it's your go-to song, which is it?
Oh goodness, it's so hard for me to pick a go-to song because I love music a lot. Like I listen to everything.
Sure.
Like I love Broadway musical theater.
Okay.
And then, like you said, I listen to K-pop, which is huge that I listen to, but I listen to J-pop. I listen to Italian pop. I listen to German rock. I listen to Finnish metal. Like I don't have lines. I listen to everything. So I think though, because it was what I was trained in, is I like to lean back on the musical theater. So I feel like if I have go-to songs, the first ones that pop in my head are something from musical theater. Like, I don't know. Have you ever seen Les Miserables?
Les Miserables, no, but I've seen Hairspray.
Oh, I love Hairspray.
Okay.
So, let me think. I love Good Morning Baltimore. That's like the opening song.
Yeah.
Good morning, Baltimore. Every day's like an open door. So, I think if I have songs that I lean back on, it's usually something from a musical. And I know a lot of musicals.
You happen to have a favorite quote?
My favorite quote for the longest time ever has been, "You are enough. You are so enough. It is unbelievable how enough you are." By Sierra Vargas.
What is
and that has been my favorite quote and mantra for a long time.
What does that mean to you?
It means, for me especially, it's what I always need to tell myself, because it's what I never got to hear, and it's the only truth to me and for anybody, is that even if you think you aren't, you are. You are enough. You're so enough that it's unbelievable how enough you are. Like, you are so perfect and as much as you can be, that it's incredible how much you can be. And then you're going to do more, and you're going to be even more. So it's just, that quote is very, very near and dear to my heart. And it's something I write it down all the time. I chant it when I'm about to go into an audition. Like, that's always been my quote and mantra.
What to you was your worst unnecessary purchase you've ever made?
I technically, like, I put all the money down and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I bought an apartment and paid for the apartment like 6 months out already.
Huh?
And then
You did what?
Out. And then I got kicked out.
What? Peach! What? What?
Listen, if I have one bane of my existence, it's that I have been and always am and always probably will be too nice. And my ex cheated on me. It only gets worse from here.
Oh my god.
Cheated on me.
Oh no, Peach!
And I knew that they didn't have a lot of money. So I felt bad for leaving them because they cheated on me after my dad passed away. And then I knew they didn't have money, so I was like, I feel bad for leaving you in such a rut and leaving you so suddenly, so I'm going to pay rent for a little bit, but then I'm out.
What?
I know.
You what?
I know how I look. I know how it sounds.
Hey, you live and you learn, right?
Yep. I live, that's for sure.
As we're winding down here on the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show, Season 3, mind you. We are just about finished here, wrapping up with Season 3. Peach Blossom, I got to ask you about the social media aspects of being a Twitch streamer. Do you find it really difficult to post stuff or to come up with concepts, or like maybe it's just an overload of a content creator where you just like, you know what, I'm just going to post on one section, for example, on a Discord or tweet or Instagram pic, and then hopefully people show up, or are you aspiring to actually, do, a go above and beyond into promoting yourself?
I definitely want to go, like, I'm all in kind of person. Like, I'm like, I want to do it all, like do it all at once.
Yeah.
Sometimes, that's not feasible all the time. Like, I have not started my YouTube because I know that I can't like keep up on that right now.
Sure.
But it's definitely something I want to do in the future. But I try to promote on all of the platforms. I try to give announcements in my Discord. I've been staying way more on top of Instagram because I feel like Instagram and Twitter are great tools.
Sure.
And I get actually a lot more views like when I do like Instagram stories. I feel like that's been helpful. So promoting like on there has helped me personally.
Yeah.
So I really like promoting on there a lot, but I give like announcements. I try to like check in and with Discord and other people's Discords as well, like communities that I'm involved in. I try to like pop in when I can. I'd like to do more. But I think right now I'm definitely like active on all platforms in some way, maybe more or less than others, but definitely in some way. And I'm always liking everybody's posts. I think I've liked every single TikTok you've ever made.
Oh, me? What?
Yeah, every single time you pop up, I don't even watch it. I'm like,
You didn't even watch. Hey, wait a minute. Do your due diligence and watch that.
well, I do watch it, but like I don't have to watch the whole thing.
Oh, it's
I'm
automatic. Oh, cool. You just you're just a fan.
Yeah.
No, but see,
I'm
that's
really
great.
just
That's
the number one fan.
no, that's Lavender. She's the real fake fan.
True.
Anywho, but that really makes it like the connection of actually putting yourself out there, because people will get that traction of like, you know what, you're liking the posts, you're liking the feeds of people that put themselves out there for. So that's kind of a way to actually, you know, integrate yourself into, you know, putting yourself out there and making your name well known and stuff. And for people, hey, you know what? She's been showing a lot of support. Let me go ahead and check out to see what kind of stuff she has. And so that'll gravitate towards whatever you're doing, whether it's the studying streamings or even like the just being yourself in the K-pops and like not letting things like get it out of hand where like, you know what, if people don't like it, at least they tried it. And if they don't like the stuff, there's a door. And I love that you're going to be having that further going too. I believe there's also something that you've actually hinted in the previous stream that you've had at the time of this recording. Peach, you gotta let us know, because this is really awesome. And the fact that you're just coming back, that the fact that you're just barely at 112 followers, and not to say that that's nothing at all, but like at where you're at right now, you have been sponsored and affiliated with the program. And I would love to touch bases on that if you can allow us, please.
Yes. So as I was talking about, my favorite gaming company is Nintendo. Like for anything, like for me, that's my first ever system that I've ever did on was the Game Boy. Like that's the first ever, my intro. I think the first ever game I played was Sonic. So Nintendo is huge to me.
Sure.
And so of course the thing that I play most on my stream when I do play are Nintendo Switch games.
Okay.
And the company called Switcheries. They make cases and bags. They make thumb grips, bags, cases, extra controllers, like customized controllers, stuff like that.
Wow.
For the Nintendo Switch, both the Nintendo Switch, the Lite, and the OLED, the new one.
Wow. Okay.
So they have everything, and I just got a bag that's coming in. I'm going to do an unboxing of that. Because I'm an affiliate, they wanted me to have a product of theirs, so I got to pick a product, and I love Animal Crossing, so I got an Animal Crossing bag to like hold everything in, and it's just so cute. And Switchery is like a very great like cases because it has everything. Like it has very cute like anime stuff. It has like the really cute like cartoons, and it has pretty flowers and stuff. They have a peach cat.
A peach cat?
It's like this cute little cartoon of like a peach cat. Like hello, like for a case. It's adorable.
Right.
But then they also have like anime, and then they have I think some really cool like Outlander cases and stuff like that. Like very, very really cool designs and very, very cute. So for them to be like, even though you're just kind of starting out and you're small, for them to be like, we see that your aesthetic kind of matches what we want and like.
Wow,
so
that's cool.
do you want to work with us on this? And I was like, yeah, because usually you can't do something like that without like a bigger following. Like that's just how it is. Like I don't want that to sound bad, but
no, you can't sugarcoat it. Of course not.
And from a business perspective, like I study business in college as well. Like I understand the reasoning behind that of wanting somebody with a bigger following. So for them to like kind of take a risk on a smaller streamer, which I think makes them seem like an even better company, that makes them seem like an even good company for them to be looking at small streamers and being like, oh, I see something in you. Yeah. Let's work together. So I'm an affiliate with Switcheries, and I have a 10% off discount code and free shipping over $35.
That right there. You will see the promo code right up here. And I love how you didn't sugarcoat that aspect of because you're a small streamer, like you shouldn't be afforded or rewarded or even given these opportunities. But the fact that this company is taking that chance, and I gotta say, it's going to be some added pressure, but in a good way, if that makes any sense, where you have to, meet them halfway, where you're going to have to stream, but it's going to come at a good cost because you're supporting something that's, relatively like, for what you do, the aesthetics, as you mentioned, and like the gameplay that you put out, or like even the vibes in general. For this company to do that for you has got to like warm your heart. I mean, like,
it goes back to like when Seudo, which is a follower from Italy, when he was like talking about how the vibes of my channel are so comforting and just how cool they are for a company to also say that same thing. And that's, for me, I think it's the biggest importance to me, is to have a good vibe. Like even if I could be the best gamer in the world, but if the vibes are not good, I just don't think it's as nice to like, or as enjoyable. Still cool to watch and all, but like, I don't know. I feel like the vibes and the environment that you have is a lot to your community, even if it's maybe not a lot to you, it's for them. But I feel like showing that work for them helps. I don't know if that makes sense.
Absolutely it does, because at the end of the day, like, I'll tell you this, I can't sugarcoat this with you. You may not have the best equipment, you may not have the best headset, microphone, camera, background, lighting, whatever it is to
and
it.
I don't.
But right. But at the end of the day, Peach, because you bring out something that people want, and it's just like comfort, relaxation, the lo-fi music, and just yourself too, because again, you let yourself be just yourself. Like, you're able to sing, you're able to you have a warm, genuine voice where it is comforting to go to, and you've expressed that in our during our conversation here at the podcast, where you're more than welcome to be okay for people to come on by the streams. I mean, of course, there's going to be a certain ceiling that you can't, break because of, X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, you put this out there as a comeback story, not only for yourself, but for others that look inspiring, because we did touch base a lot, and it was heavy that we talked about the mental health aspect. I almost wanted to cry, because I connect with that very much so, because I don't ever want this to be where people would think that you're just going to come over here and stream and then that's it. You have to think about the mental note aspects. You have to think about the revenue aspects. And so it might not be there quite yet for the revenue aspect, but the fact that, you're willing to put that out there of your mental states of, what you've gone through and how that journey to come back in full circle and get a sponsorship, figure out what you're going to be putting out here, has got to be really rewarding. And I'm so proud of you for continuing on with this journey with us here as a streamer, as a content creator, and of course, just being yourself. So I thank you so much, Peach, for just for coming back.
Thank you. And that's like one thing I like really stress upon is like, even in my streams, I always try to tell my community, my audience, that even if you're not seeing it a lot on stream, I'm trying to always do stuff to better everything else for you guys off stream. Like, I'm always constantly researching. I'm learning how to do other things. I want to get a schedule in place, but that was just something I knew I couldn't do right away, off the bat.
Right.
But now I'm getting more close to a place where I can like have set times and do things and, do more things, like interact. And,
Sure.
I was working really hard on the backgrounds and the bongo cat thing. Everybody loves the bongo cat. So, and then just making it look and feel better. So even if you don't see it a lot, like right on stream, right in front of you, there's lots of things I'm always trying to do to like make those vibes exist and make that environment so that people do say things like they want to come back and do enjoy it. And I think that even though you can't see it like right as it's happening, I feel like that energy shows through to your content, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm always trying to do something behind the scenes to like make it even better and do whatever I can. And I'm always open, and I do talk to a lot of my followers off stream one-on-one. There's people that I message almost every day that's not Lavender, even though Lavender is one of them. So there's always, I feel like those vibes come through because that's who I am as a person. So the more real and authentic that you are, that comes through on your content. And I feel like that's what for me, that's what I like in the people that I follow and watch and give my money to. So I feel like those things come through, and that's what people really enjoy, is like who the person is, not just what the stream is about or what the content is doing.
Very well said there, Peach. I want to give you this moment of time to let and remind those here watching on the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show for season 3 of who you are. Once again, any upcoming projects. I know you mentioned about the unboxing. At the time of recording, we'll hopefully have found out like what you've gotten as a, is your in the little unboxing, along with other projects, or even things that you might want to think about trying, like maybe trying TikTok, maybe trying like coming up with other concept videos. But please, this is your moment in time to let the others and those that have been watching the episode here right now to remind them who you are and what you stream and what other company projects are happening. So, Peach, the floor is yours.
Oh boy, no pressure.
All the pressure.
All the pressure right here. I don't know who I am. I'm just me. But
you're Peach Blossom, remember, 99.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm Peach Blossom 99. And I love peaches. but I do have a lot of things. I have ideas all of the time. I want to start a YouTube, but I am learning how to edit. That is something I'm just learning. I didn't come out of the womb knowing how to edit, and I've never really been able to. So now that I have the opportunity and time, that is something I want to do, is like make content on YouTube, but it would not be the same as my streaming content. Mm-hmm. It would be something maybe like Kpop Pod would go to YouTube, but aside from that, everything else, it would be kind of like commentary. Mm-hmm. I like commenting on things or reviews, reactions, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But it wouldn't be, my study stream would not be on YouTube.
Right.
And my gaming streams, I wouldn't put on YouTube. That's going to be strictly for Twitch.
Sure.
And then there's things that I'm doing on TikTok. I want to do like more skit videos. But that also will come after I learn better how to edit. So
right.
Right now, editing is the biggest thing for me to like tackle and learn, so I can actually implement all of these ideas that I have, because I think I have really good ideas mm-hmm. and really fun things that I want to do, and that would be enjoyable for everyone. But I need those skills first. So when I finish up here, I do have quite a few plans to like with YouTube and better TikToks. I do TikToks now, but like most trends or voice or like talking, you know what I mean? Not
Absolutely.
Like skit videos, but I'd like to do skit videos eventually. The unboxing is coming up soon as I get the shipping information of when it's going to arrive. So.
Sure.
And then there's definitely going to be more study streams. I have a lot of college left, so
just gotta hang tight.
They'll be here. And then I do plan to slowly but surely start gaming more, but doing it as I enjoy. And that's going to be like me taking some personal time to mm-hmm. prepare and just kind of be like, I don't care and I want to have fun with it. So, yeah, I have a lot of ideas.
And all nothing but success, hopefully, to you. Like, you will. And to whatever it is that you're going to be pulling forward or going forward with this is going to be really insightful, and to see the better mental state and how you're fixing yourself up from the ground up still to this day. Because, again, it's no easy task, and you're showing it live in a living color here, Peach, and I'm so proud of you for coming back and just not giving up on yourself, because a lot of times this might not be for everybody. People think that they could be streamers, but they're probably just gamers, and they don't understand the aspects of actually streaming to begin with. So
very different. There's different definitions. There is lines. And of course you are showing the light for people to not give up on their dreams and to not give up on their hobbies of choice, whether it's making revenue or not. At the end of the day, you're doing this because you want to study, you want to hang out with your friends, you want to
to hang out with people that you want to basically give people a safe place to study or to give a safe place as a home, because not many people do have that in their lives. So keep at it, Preach. I am again so proud of you for what you've have become, and bouncing back from this funk and from digging yourself up into blossoming once again here, Peach. Three of those, Peach. The puns continue. Anyways, before we ramble on more Peach puns here, you can find Peach over here on Twitch, Peach_Blossom99. You can also find that on Instagram too as well. The only thing you have to worry about is over on Twitter and YouTube. Peach, you could not secure the Peach Blossom name on them.
I could not. I fumbled the bag. I created it too late.
That's all.
It was too late.
It's fine and dandy. They can find you over there on Twitch. I've been SlowpokeFelitos. I am your host. You're basically your aficionado when it comes to interviewing streamers here. This has been a special treat here to talk to Peach Blossom. Peach, once again, thank you so much for taking the time. I know we've been trying to get to have you on here since season 1. The timing and the alignment was not right, but I am so glad that you've made your way here into the podcast show, and I'm glad to be able to for you to share your story with us here on the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show. So thank you so much, Peach.
Well, thank you first and foremost for having the podcast exist. So
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I've been your host, SlowpokeFelitos, for those who need a reminder here. You can find me over on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. No OnlyFeeds quite yet. Instagram for sure. My DMs are always open. That's the only notifications I have on for social media aspects. I am a part-time streamer, part-time alcoholic, a seasonal Catholic, an official Lego Builder license holder, and the host of the Monday Nyquil Podcast Show. That's going to do it for us here. Peach Blossom, thank you so much for stopping by the show, and we'll catch you guys later. Adios, everybody.